Hi everyone and welcome to your tarot guidance for the week of May the 9th. Now this is going to be a bit interesting because we are already deep into the eclipse, because just at the very end of the week, so basically Sunday and Monday, so Sunday at late at night here where I am at least, we have this total lunar eclipse taking place in the sign of Scorpio, and Scorpio rules amongst so very many things. Everything that has to do with the occult, everything that has to do with divination, tarot cards, so all of this stuff, and it is an eclipse. So this week we are a little bit blind. So when we have any kind of lunar eclipse, even solar eclipse, but solar eclipses they depend very much. Some are eclipsing mystically as well, so they do, pre-shadow a small period of blindness, spiritually speaking, while others are quite the opposite. They kind of invite us to plant the seeds of intention, so to speak, because a solar eclipse is a new moon, so everything that we need to create, everything that we want to refresh, renew, etc. And this past Taurus solar eclipse was one of exactly that nature. It kind of invited us to plant the seeds of intention and just leave it there. But this Scorpio lunar eclipse, of course it's total lunar eclipse, that already says everything. And it eclipses even the occult, even divination, the third eye, our intuition. And when everything is dark, well, either we have our inner light to illuminate everything, or we have to rely ourselves on our other senses, our instincts, just like Mother Nature, because the sun is illuminating all of this from the sign of Taurus, nature, Mother Nature, and the instinct, the senses, etc. So every person, every being will have to, cope as they best can, whatever their most refined instinct, or better said, adaptation skill is. So the reason why I'm saying all of this is because, exactly the mystical, the occult, the everything that makes tarot work, is eclipsed. So we're in that shadow, we're in that darkness. So predictions or asking about the future, or wanting to know specific details is really not recommended. On one hand, because whatever you're gonna get, well, it is very likely that it's from here and not from the other side. So it can be your mind, your unconscious, it can be anything that's basically here. Because the eclipse is like a reset, it blocks the other side from interfering, and that is because something needs to manifest. So something is already set up. It's like, a show that is already scheduled to take place in a big arena. Well, in that period when the show is running, no one or nothing, no other spectacle or whatever is allowed to run at the same time. So that is, the eclipse kind of stops everything for a very short period, because it is definitely the star of the show, karmically speaking. So I would rather have this as a suggestion, as a divine guidance, because yes, seeing the future is kind of blocked, but the guidance is not. The veil between the worlds is especially thin, so we're very close to each other. It is dark, we cannot see and navigate, but we still can feel, we can still channel, we can still basically communicate, just not see where we're going. But an eclipse is, especially a Scorpio lunar eclipse, is that much more mysterious, because it is not just us who are in the so-called dark, but everything and everyone, including that which is on the other side. So perhaps this is one of those very rare moments when no one except the divine source, of course, knows what is coming or knows the element of surprise, because it can be that. So let's just see what the cards suggest, because yes, it's not going to be predictive, but it can still offer some guidance. It can still basically tell us something. Because one thing that I kind of know, it's almost guaranteed, that, on the world stage, collectively speaking, and especially energetically, this is gonna really, really bring to the surface the darker, the more negative, the more ruthless, wicked part of life and everything that has to do with it, including secret skeletons out of the closets. A lot is gonna unfold in a very short time, so that will kind of stir everyone up. So maybe we can have a little bit of guidance with that. So we have this Eight of Swords. We have the Temperance. Yeah. This already is starting to make sense. We have the Moon. Yeah, the Moon, how special, talking about her. The World, wow. I better ask for some clarifiers because this is pretty interesting. King of Pentacles. The Princess of Wands. Two of Coins and the Six of Coins. Oh, sorry, the Six of Coins was reversed. Yeah. So the Six of Coins was reversed. No, one more, yeah. Go on then. And the Three of Cups reversed. Well, to me this says, the Moon. Well, collectively speaking, this represents that around the time of the eclipse, we can, almost take these cards as a specific, time specific. So this can very well be the 14th of May, and this can be the 18th of May. So maybe in that time period, there is a strong wave of emotional healing energy, but perhaps we might not perceive it necessarily as healing because it will bring a lot to the surface. It will really pull our deepest desires and the Eight of Swords, our deepest worries and concerns to the surface. It will be like a very powerful reality check, but one which not necessarily the mind, the ego, or the emotional world or any other part of our being, but actually the soul itself. This is when the soul, on a soul level, we are confronted with a certain kind of reality for the purpose to heal it, release it, cleanse it. When the whole universe is basically triggering a release, well, then we have to add our own sewage, our own garbage, our own trash, our own waste to it. Because, when there is a general clean, well, like it or not, ready or not, opportune or not, when, the big truck, the big, how should I say, transport device takes all the filth away and washes things clean, well, we are wise to comply and simply take the garbage out, allow it to come to the surface. We may feel blocked, we may feel stressed, we may feel wishy-washy, we may feel at the edge, we may feel that we are imminently gonna enter into a situation where it's almost between life and death. Maybe between this period, 14th and 18th of May, But this can also very well be this 18th. It can represent a 9, so September. It can also represent that. So where I'm going with this is, we may feel that our lives are gonna change, but this is not the kind of change where we're working and we are, proactively, taking action towards the change. But when just change strikes all of us at the same time, perhaps the COVID situation, a similar situation where change just knocked at our doors, ready or not, everyone was in the same boat. So something like that might generate, but this isn't polarized. It's not saying in a doomy gloomy way or in a rather positive way. Being in the same boat can also be in a lot healing, release, forgiveness, putting things right, working towards the common good. And the moon can also represent the most elevated part of the moon, understanding, true connection, feeling towards the other person like they actually belong to us, that they're almost like family, compassion, empathy, stuff like that. So this can be good and bad, but what the universe suggests to us is that we need to prepare for this. It will not be a big shock and surprise that either because of personal reasons or because we react to something or maybe no real logical rational reason whatsoever, we are gonna have periods and moments of massive release, and we can feel this bodily, energetically, emotionally, like tears, crying, being very sensitive and emotional, very, 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 maybe for no real reason at all. And this is ultimately very, very healing and cleansing. And the World card. This, without a shadow of a doubt, says that something ends, something is terminated, something is complete, or something comes to fruition, or maybe fruits of your labor, whatever. But this is an ending. All of us, or especially everyone watching this channel, can expect something like this to take place in their lives, but in a rather felt way. Even if it's like something not real, like spiritual, or even more unreal, artistic. Your art, your anything like that. Something will feel as a completion. Something will feel as something truly took place. It matured, or it ended, or it's over, or it's done finally, but it will feel like the World card. And for a lot of people, this will be actually good news, regardless of how this plays out and how this will trigger you or what will happen. It will also make you feel that you are in control of your life for real right now. That you need to take choices. You are your very own king of the pentacles. So everything is real. If you're like a spiritual person, if you're just like the dreamer, if you're just like, someone who is not able to live a very active social life, still, this time your destiny is your own. Whatever you're living internally is gonna get real. There will be an element of reality to it. So you need to find your grounded position. And this is the Two of Coins. For some people, this is the balance, the change, or for other, the total turnaround that they have been waiting for. But this also means returning to simplicity. So this is where all of us will shed off relationship things, items, clothes, organs, even, who knows, teeth, hair, whatever it is that we don't need anymore, we are gonna be shedding them off. Because this is where life, destiny, and even reality itself is so very personal that it's just us and destiny. It's just us and life. It's just us, perhaps our partner, and life. But this is where the Six of Coins reversed. We also have to pay. A lot of times, life, destiny, the universe, God, your unconscious, you yourself, your ego, whatever, was very, very generous, and it did bail you out. It did give you a lot of moments and opportunities to celebrate for. Now, sometimes we have to pay that back. There will be tears, the three of cups reversed. Maybe friendships lost. Maybe goodbyes. Maybe even reunions. But there will be tears, and those will be under the shadow of a lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Those will be almost sacred tears, tears that shall be remembered, regardless of what this is. Well, this also has the upright element. It is a celebration, a commemoration. It is a release, it is a closure. And whatever you're paying back, karmic debt paid, Scorpio rules debt, all of us are paying right now. All of us. One way or another, we're paying everything that we owe. We all have this eclipse in one area of our lives, in one part of our charts, and there it is where we pay back whatever generosity was offered to us or whatever cruelty was offered to us. Yet if we decide, or we have already decided under the Neptune-Jupiter conjunction on the 12th of April 2022, so basically almost a month ago, that we are going to be repaying cruelty with compassion and understanding and forgiveness, then we have already made sure that this eclipse actually brings like a jackpot moment, is not a jackpot in a slot machine also a kind of eclipse, a perfect alignment. For some people it will be a karmic surprise. It will be, yes, something excessive south node, but they who showed compassion in excess maybe now have to be drowned by their own compassion. A divine surprise and delight, which might be shocking, which might be almost surreal, yet all of us are gonna be paying for something. And for some of us, quite literally, because this Six of Coins does mean a literal payment. Some of us are going to take care of that. Others have to honor our special people, souls in our lives on their special occasions. And of course, this might also be reflecting in the world stage out there, where economy will have a big up. Something will get very, very valuable, and something which is almost guaranteed to be a big hit and sensation. Maybe this new trend with applications, cryptocurrencies and stuff like, something will have a dramatic fall. And something, and this Three of Cups reverse might be oil price, fuel price. Well, this will get heavier and heavier, the gravity will increase, so translate that. Yet, those of us, and I'm not saying us because I want to include myself, all of the human collective as us, who were prepared, who made certain choices, are gonna get ready for the shock, for the surprise, for the disbelief of their lives, because whatever is completing, whatever is coming to fruition, is not just their own, not just the result of their own works. Ultimately, the world card is Saturn. There is one way you can get anything you want with Saturn: work for it. And then it will give you, regardless of what it is, right or wrong, good or bad, need it or not, want it or not really, it doesn't care. If you sacrificed for it, if you worked for it, Saturn will give it to you. And Saturn will even bless your harvest, so other power players like, let's say, Jupiter, Pluto, will not spoil it. So Saturn, for some of us, guarantees already that we are in for a big surprise, because the universe has already a certain kind of reflection ready for us. And yes, This King of Pentacles, he is stable, he is wealthy, he is prosperous on the inside. And that is why the earth allows him to do as he desires, because it is the earth that sees him as nobility because of what his heart is. That is where he is wealthy. So for a lot of people, this will mean that your connection with nature is going to strengthen in a real sense, in a physical sense. Did you not have that special little cottage or place before, where maybe it's yours just for 1 week a year, but this was not part in your reality before, it is now? All of a sudden you will have that special little refuge. Not much, but in that week it will be just you and Mother Nature in sacredness. This is just an example, even though I'm pretty sure for some viewers out there, it will actually manifest as that cottage that they always dreamed of. Maybe a little bit of trick of the universe, not yours forever, yours for a week, but for the rest of your life that week. Maybe it's a relative, maybe someone else has that and shares it with you. But this is where, for all of us, one way or another, our connection with nature and our stability strengthens. Even for those people for whom, they were dishonest in certain ways, and they have to pay, as in a loss. They paid something. They didn't pay with an organ. They didn't pay with their emotional, mental, physical health, but with money. Good riddance. So it's a win-win truly for everyone. So, this is basically the guidance part here. Oh yes, if you give me just a moment, I intended to draw a nature-themed, an earth-themed oracle card here. Because, as I said, the sun is in Taurus, so it's still Taurus. The sun, the light, belongs to Taurus. So nature is dictating here the truth. So just give me one moment. So thank you so much, and I do apologize for that. I should have got it ready. So I really wanted to pick an oracle card from here. I really, really like this deck. And I got it from a very, very special friend, and she's a Taurus. So how very fitting. So if Mother Nature herself would like to... the sun in Taurus. Yeah. But in this deck, it means just more than the sun in Taurus. It does mean to truly embrace your summer vibe. Doomy or gloomy, however this eclipse may feel like, it is your sworn duty to combat it, to make it your transformational. It is a paradox, an eclipse, you cannot change anything anymore. Scorpio, the final transformation, the result of your transformation, and you childishly attempting to still transform it, the universe will actually be a playmate in your game. So dare to dream, dare to play, dare to allow your inner child to shine. Even if you feel doomy and gloomy and like the eclipse is pulling up a trauma for you and you feel like crying because it happened to you and it was hard back then. Well, now do the opposite. You're a survivor. Enjoy anything now that the trauma child, inner child, the inner child, that the trauma prevented you to do back then. Enjoy. Show your freedom. Yeah, the lightning is the tower. So it will be scary out there, yet at the same time your sun is gonna shine. Whatever this lightning strikes, it cleans. It allows new stars to rise basically. So it will clean the professional world as well. A lot of fakes are gonna be exposed. There will be a massive downfall in everyone's professional field. Certain fakes are gonna be exposed. Like, ridiculously, even if you're a dentist, that big professor dentist will fall and you will see them as a fake. If you know what I mean. So it's not just saying it in the spiritual field or in this field, that field. The guardian of earth. The king, basically the king of pentacles. Something manifests here. You know, the lightning, the heaven and the earth, Gaia and Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus. So many synchronicities here, and just one more. Strength. Yeah. The strength of the earth will awaken inside of us. Our feelings, our instincts will basically possess us, take control. This is where our soul's truth will be unstoppable. We'll be just like autopilot, but it will be not our shallow minds controlling us, our deepest instincts, nature. But what will happen is still under a shroud, lightning. Lightning, a sudden something. And this is the legend where, in the Celt myths or whatever, when lightning struck a tree and the tree survived, it wasn't killed, it wasn't instantly burned down by the lightning. That tree was purified, sanctified, it was holy forever. It gained magic, supernatural powers by surviving the lightning. So, you know, the lightning, divine intervention, something will happen. So, thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to support me and my work, cause as you know, right now I'm sitting for a laptop. I wanna share my screen with you when I do the astrology, because this is how I can teach you. When you will physically see what I'm talking about and which planet is where and the aspects, you will know how to do your own chart. So anyway, you can donate in the PayPal in the description below. Thank you so much, and hang on to the eclipse, it's gonna be special. Until next time, bye for now.